Hello and welcome everyone. I am Cavalier Astoria, and today we're going to be in Red Dead Redemption 2 talking about this particular weapon. The Krag-Jorgensen. Now the Krag-Jorgensen is a really interesting gun. It was initially created in Norway by two guys by the name of Ole Herman Johannes Krag and Erik Jorgensen. And the Krag-Jorgensen is a bolt-action rifle that would eventually be adopted into U.S. Army service in 1892. And the reason why it was adopted was because if you notice right there, that is the magazine for this gun. Now, when the U.S. was adopting a bolt-action rifle, that actually was a very important consideration for them. Basically, their concern with most bolt actions was that while you're reloading, you're technically put out of action because you have to load through the top. That, however, this little thing here, extends out of the gun, and it is specifically the magazine. So you can, at any time, open that up and drop a few cartridges in there while still having a round in the chamber. It's actually a really interesting design. So I'm gonna see if I could get John Marston to reload, so that way we could get it. Yeah, if you kind of notice, he was loading in through the side. So we'll do that again, and I'll wait for it to get onto the side so that way I could show you properly. If I could get a good camera angle. This is probably the best one. But if you notice, he opened it up, loaded in cartridges, and you don't actually need to operate the bolt there. It's actually a really interesting design. However, it only remained in U.S. Army service for about 12 years. And the reason why it got unadopted, well, replaced by the U.S. Army, was because it ran up against the Mauser. And the Mauser was a lot faster to reload. Basically, during the Spanish-American War, a lot of U.S. soldiers kind of got killed unnecessarily because there is no way to load this thing fast. Okay? You need a stripper clip in order to load a bolt-action rifle fast, or an M-block clip. This one can only be loaded via singular rounds. So while you can top off rounds actually pretty okay, you can't rapidly load 5. And it was actually because of that it would eventually get replaced by the M1903 Springfield, the rifle that the U.S. would carry on until the 1917 Enfield, and following that, the M1 Grand. But yeah, it's this is kind of just a really cool rifle that was in U.S. Army service for a while. But eventually it just got replaced because it wasn't that great of a combat design. But it would actually still remain in Norwegian service up until the end of the Second World War. And with that, that's actually it. The U.S. Army version of the Krag used 30-40 ammunition, also known as 30 Army or 30 US. And yeah, that also, funny enough, is the same cartridge as this rifle right here, which was sort of a more traditional trapdoor Springfield, where when you fire it, you have to open up a little gate that you can see just there in order to load it. It actually used the same round. And the reason for that is because both of these guns were actually used simultaneously. And this gun will also be replaced by the 1903 Springfield. But with that, that was a very quick guide on the Krag-Jorgensen. Just a really cool little weapon that is kind of forgotten in today's world. But with that, I'm going to go ahead and continue playing on with this game. I hope you have a wonderful day, and thank you for watching. Goodbye.